For those of you who couldn't make it to class today, here's a little bit of what we did. I started out trying to just introduce two rhetorical devices, kind of expanded from there. But number one, anaphora. This is a pattern that goes A, B, A, C, A, D. Or, famous example, I have a dream that B, I have a dream that C, I have a dream that D. That speech is, clearly I'm abridging it, but that part of the speech is 8 sentences in a row, all that begin with, I have a dream. That's sort of the most famous, accessible example that most people are going to know. But we made our own. Photosynthesis helps plants grow. Photosynthesis converts light to food. Photosynthesis makes life possible. We came up with those in this order, but I realized that a more powerful sequence to place them in would be makes life possible last, because that's the biggest statement. Photosynthesis makes life possible. The inverse of anaphora is epistrophe. Epistrophe, we laid out on the other side here because it's just the same thing as anaphora but flipped. Oh, and the added challenge that I gave one student is, can you combine epistrophe, can you use this content and combine epistrophe with hypophora? If you don't remember what hypophora is, it's the device where you ask a question and answer it yourself. Question, answer. What converts light to food? Photosynthesis does. What helps plants grow? Photosynthesis does. What makes life possible? Photosynthesis does. Combination of epistrophe and hypophora. This does not name this. I just had to write this up there because there was one student who was being a smart aleck, making wisecracks, trying to stay away from curse words here, and said, I want a Tonka because I want a Tonka. So I wrote up the word tautology because that's what that was. It was a tautology. A tautology is like a tautology. People are just like people, you know? Wisecracks are wisecracks. Redundancy, repeating the same thing, logically, it doesn't mean anything, but in context, given the intention, it kind of means something. If I say, people are just people, I'm saying that people are not all that complicated in many ways. Just for review purposes, because we were talking about rhetorical questions, I mentioned hypophora, which is where you ask a question and answer it yourself. And then erotema is the one where you just leave the question hanging, drop the mic. If all your friends jumped to their death, would you do it too? You're not looking for a response with a question like that. It's just a challenge that you leave to hang. Oh, and then because it shows up everywhere, it makes great slogans. It's great for conclusions if you're writing a paper, or perhaps somewhere along the way if you really want to catch people's attention and synthesize a lot of ideas in one thing. Chiasmus. Chi is the Greek letter X, and chiasmus means X-shaped pattern. So somebody said something about words being crazy, and I threw up here, words are crazy if you know crazy words, which is a chiasmus. It's not great, but just spinning an example off the top of my head. The structure of chiasmus is AB, BA. It is an X-shaped pattern because we can think of the geometry of it like this. Words are crazy if you know crazy words. They flip spaces just like as if they were traveling along two different tracks in an X shape. So those are the rhetorical devices that we covered in 40 minutes today, Monday, March 13th. Epistrophe, hypophora, erotema, tautology, chiasmus, and anaphora. Watch this again. Look at the pictures of the board on the classroom page, and you will master the same material.